name is Shekhar Vijayan, like Nijan said. I am an entertainer, actor, motivational speaker, author, radio jockey, voiceover artist, and comedian. My dog certainly thinks I'm funny, and I believe in my dog's opinion. Now, there was a photograph which Nijan showed right at the beginning of this webinar, which shows about my fat to fit story. I was 46 inches on the waist a year back, and now I'm 32 inches on the waist. I was 125 kilos a year back, and now I'm 80 kilos. And all this weight I've lost only by uh, ensuring that it's mind over matter. Now I'll tell you what's it all about. Now, in the current situation we are in right now, in the state of lockdown, now we all are in a state of anxiety. We all are in a state of nervousness. We all are in a state of panic. And the only way to get out of this is to understand that this is the new normal. And that's how it was for me when I was weighing 125 kilos. And I lost all this weight purely by running 15 kilometers every day. And I used to run 10 kilometers in 38 minutes. But when I started off, this all happened because one fine day, I was watching a very exciting India-Pakistan game with my wife. I was sitting on a plastic chair, and India was, of course, winning this World Cup game. And I was quite excited, and the plastic chair broke into 4 pieces. And I almost missed hitting a glass teapot, so to say. If my head had hit it, I would have had serious injuries. And that's when it hit me hard that I'm grossly overweight and I need to do something about it. And when you are weighing 125, 130 kilos, your best friend is certainly not the weighing machine. You don't like to look at the weighing machine at all, and you are avoiding anything and everything around you. And that's when it hit me hard that I need to do something about it. And the next day, I got up early in the morning, took my dog out for a walk, who I usually take out. Now, my dog here is a very important character in this entire story. Her name is Sunshine. She doesn't have a bad hair day at all. And she's been an inspiration for me to lose weight. The fact that when I started walking with her, I used to walk 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers. Then I started walking for 10 kilometers. And I realized that I'm not sweating as much as I should when I'm walking so much, because, when you're on the heavier side of life, that is, or in terms of your weight, it doesn't hit you hard until it hits you hard, until it gets very personal. And when I was walking with Sunshine, I realized that I could also start running. And when I started running, I started running 2 kilometers, 4 kilometers, 6 kilometers, 8 kilometers. And I completed like 10 kilometers in 38 to 40 minutes, which was pretty serious. And for any marathoner who's listening, and for people who run, I can tell you this: the most exciting part about running is the kind of rhythm you have when you run. Because for me, the biggest high was the sweat trickling down my face, and that itself was magic for me. That was very exciting for me. I also make sure I do a plank every half an hour. I do a plank of 2 minutes or a little more than 2 minutes from the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep. So if I wake up, say, at 5 in the morning and I go to sleep at, say, 11 in the night, I do a plank every half an hour. Now, because my job is virtual as we talk right now, if I'm on a client meeting, if I'm on a client call, I can do a plank anywhere, because it's very simple and it is very important for your core. I also make sure I avoid everything white. When I say I avoid everything white, I don't have any salt, I don't have any sugar, I'm not addicted to tea or coffee. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't have red meat. I also avoid everything in a packet. When I'm saying packet, it could be anything which you get in terms of your bhujiyas, in terms of your junk food. I avoid everything like that. Now, previous to this, when I was in the heavier side, when I was weighing 125 kilos, an average weekend for me would be having 3 pieces of chicken from KFC along with 2 coleslaw salads and a diet coke. I remember this very well because it's always important to understand where you have come from, so that you can talk about it when you have reached at a certain stage in life. And I think it's very important to understand that the ladder you use to move up the ladder in terms of success are the same steps that you're going to use when you come down the ladder. So losing weight, losing these 45 kilos has been inspirational, uh, obviously for me, because it's been a game changer for me. And I've realized that you can be strong and you can be stubborn at the same time. Usually when you think of being stubborn is always a negative attribute. And we've been conditioned to think like that. But you can always be strong, you can always be stubborn, because I think it's your mindset which is very important. So when I was trying to lose weight, when I was trying to stay fit, it was all about running, doing a plank, avoiding everything white, having more of greens, having more of green vegetables, making sure that I avoid fried food, avoiding red meat, not addicted to anything, that's tea, coffee, drinking lots of water, and also ensuring that when I'm doing what I'm doing, I also position my mind in such a way that I'm able to manage the entire balance together. When I'm saying balance, it's also important that any day, there is no cheat day, there is no rest day when you're trying to stay fit. So if you're, say for example, if you're working out 7 days in a week, I make sure I run 7 days a week. For me, it does not make a difference whether 6 days, 7 days, I have to do it every day, be it rain or shine. Now for example, the place where I'm staying in right now, I'm staying on the 6th floor, and now because of lockdown we cannot obviously go out and run. I make sure I do my exercise in terms of running up and down the stairs. And I make sure I cover 15 kilometers every day. Yes, very simple. You can do 15 kilometers in one day by just running up and down the stairs. And I think it all boils down to that. You got to do something which you are comfortable with, and also making sure you stretch your boundaries at any given moment. So, there are three important things here. Your power of positivity, your power of persistence, and your passion. All three, when they combine together, I think they make a great melting point, which is very important when you want to stay fit, and you want to be mentally and physically fit in terms of your mental strength. Now, as we talk about me doing what I'm doing, I'm sorry, I got a call. Yeah. So as we talk about staying fit and staying active, I think it's very important that you need to exercise control over what you eat. Now because of lockdown, everybody's in the kitchen and everybody's trying to be a chef. It's very important to also make sure you eat every 2 hours. Yes, you can eat every 2 hours. Drink lots of water. Uh, Avoid, like in my case, it worked for me that I lost the 40 kilos in 1 year purely by just avoiding everything white. That is, I was not having rice, I was not having milk, I was not having sugar, I was not having salt, I was not having anything in a packet. And I was a chef's nightmare. So if I would go to a hotel, the chef would have a tough time in entertaining somebody like me, because I would have so many questions about what goes into my body. So a very important skill set, which is very important right now, is always treat your body like your best friend. And it's not just about losing weight, it's not just about staying fit. It's about the fact that right now, as we talk, we are in these times of COVID-19. It's very important to build your immunity. And right now, your body is your best friend. Your body has always been your best friend. So give your body the respect that it deserves. Treat it like your best friend. Make sure you give it as much love, adore it, and look after it. And that can only happen when you make sure that you have the right kind of food, you have the right kind of inputs for your body. So treat your body like a temple, right behind me. Arnold Schwarzenegger said that, by the way, and I'm just using the same line, but the temple is right there, literally and metaphorically. Also, it's very important to be inspired. Your inspiration should actually come from within. And I'm saying inspiration, you don't need to be inspired by Muhammad Ali. You don't need to be inspired by anyone around you. You can be inspired from within. And for me, my inspiration was not just my gut feel, but my dog, because I think my dog lives in the present, doesn't live in the past or the future. Her name is Sunshine. And I think that's very important when you want to get through these dark moments in life. It's very important to live in the present, not the past or the future. When you live in the past or the future, you tend to reminisce about the past. When you live in the future, you're just moving, striving ahead. But as we talk right now in this current situation, it's very important to live in this moment, make the most of this moment, and also stay connected with your loved ones. When I'm saying staying connected with the loved ones, staying connected with your dog, with somebody you like and love, just keep talking to them, just collaborate with them. Because I think somewhere nature has come and told us during these times of COVID that, they've pressed a pause button and said that, why don't you just refresh yourself? Why don't you just rejuvenate yourself and come back strong? So somewhere I think COVID-19 plays a very important role here in terms of letting us know that staying connected with your loved ones is very important. I also hate the word luck. I believe what we create out of ourselves is pure hard work, dedication, and persistence. Luck is something which I really hate. And also, we are living in a world which is all about, uh, getting an approval from others. If you have an ego, use your ego to inspire yourself. Use your ego to build yourself up. Use your ego for yourself. It's very important, like I said earlier, to treat your body like your best friend. Your body is going to be the only living organism which is going to be with you till you die. So treat it, give it the love, give it the life that it deserves. Uh, Losing 40 kilos in a year from 46 inches uh, and bring it down to 32 inches in a year, and 80 kilos is not a joke, but it can be done in a very simple manner. So I'll tell you how. Very simple. uh, Take the stairs. Absolutely, don't use the elevator at all. And I'm saying take the stairs, it's such a beautiful feeling to take the stairs, because one is, nobody frequents the stairs, and in today's day and age, uh, taking the stairs also means a lot of hard work, which is very important if you want to succeed in life. Exercise control over what you're eating. It's all about quality more than quantity. When I'm talking about quality, when I'm talking about have more of greens, have more of vegetables, have more of fruits. Avoid fruits which are rich in sugar. For example, mangoes, for example, have more of bananas, have more of muskmelons, have more of watermelons. Have as much as you can about this, but also ensure you avoid red meat as much as you can. Uh, Avoid aerated drinks. When I'm saying aerated drinks, avoid tea and coffee as much as you can. It worked for me. This is something which will work if you use it, but I'm not giving you 100% guarantee for it, because I think along with eating what you need to eat, it's also important to exercise. Like I said earlier, give your body the love and the respect that it deserves. Also make sure you spend a lot of time exercising. That is, you can exercise in the morning or in the evening. And somewhere when you exercise, when you stay fit, uh, it gives you a different lease of life. It makes you more energetic. You feel happier, and you are almost like a rock. When I say almost like a rock, you are able to withstand anything which comes your way, right? Also, which leads to my second point. Now, when I'm talking about staying fit mentally and physically, and staying strong, staying stubborn. A couple of years back, I had been to this beautiful and this very enigmatic place called Mount Kailash, which is, I think, so beautiful and so mysterious that there is so much more to it. And I had gone to this place because my in-laws wanted to make a trip to Mount Kailash Mansarovar Lake. Now, for everybody who does not know what is Mount Kailash Mansarovar Lake, this is a pilgrimage where Lord Shiva supposedly resides, and it's in China-occupied Tibet, and you have to pass through Nepal to get through to this place. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this place is this relates to what we are talking in terms of mental and staying strong, staying stubborn, being positive mentally and physically. Now, when you're going to a place like Mount Kailash, it is minus 15 degrees. It is at a higher altitude. You're wearing 4 layers of clothing, and you cannot manage without a little bit of without without your basic headgear, without your glasses. When I'm talking about glasses, sunglasses, I'm talking about, because the climate, the terrain changes completely every few seconds. Now, what I also learned here is it's about trusting yourself and trusting others around you. There is something which I learned in terms of as a mistake, because everybody was using the pony there, and I didn't want to use the pony because I fell down from the pony and I started walking. Now, Mount Kailash, uh, it's a basic trek you do around Mount Kailash, which is for 53 kilometers, which is spread around 3 days. And the interesting part about this trek is the fact that you're at minus 15 degrees, and the terrain just keeps changing. The climate just changes every few seconds. Starts raining. It's very sunny. There is it starts snowing all of a sudden, and it just plays havoc with your mind. And the best part was, my in-laws had moved ahead and there was nobody behind me, so I was on my own. And because I'd fallen off this pony, I thought, let me just walk the distance. Now, when you start walking, that's when nature starts playing tricks with you, because there's nobody around you, and it's so beautiful. I would want you to close your eyes and think of it in this manner. Uh, Mount Kailash is a snow-clad mountain around gray mountains around it. So they're all dull and gray mountains around Mount Kailash, and Mount Kailash is so beautiful, so vibrant, and it's like almost like the final destination. And so it's on my right side, on my left side is the river Ganga, which is flowing, and I'm on a cliff. and I'm just walking because the terrain is so inhospitable and so rugged in more ways than one. And I'm wearing 4 layers of clothing. Now, in a place like this, if you get a glass of water, you really don't know what to do with it, because if you get a glass of water, you think twice before either drinking the water, because it's so cold, you cannot drink the water, and you cannot even use it to wash yourself, because by the time you remove all your clothes, you have no energy left in you. That's the kind of environment, that's the kind of terrain, that's the kind of energy you have in a place like Mount Kailash. Now, while I was walking, I decided, let me just walk it out. And because I was so energetic and I was so thrilled about the fact that I'm on my own, that's when the mind started playing tricks. And because you're all alone and nature is there with you, it suddenly starts snowing, suddenly starts getting windy, it starts raining. One of the Sherpas there had told me, if you start walking and if you feel like you're very tired or if you're getting up, you should just find a rock and sit on that rock. I didn't understand why he told me that, but then I realized the entire significance of it when I was walking at this place, which is known as Dolama Pass, which is the highest point in Mount Kailash. So I start walking, and after some time, I'm really tired and I want to rest. I find this rock, I try to sit on this rock, and the Sherpa had told me, if ever you sit, count 20 to 1. So I didn't understand why he told me that, but I thought, let me do this because he must be right. I counted 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. And at 10, I blacked out. And then suddenly somebody came and touched me and gave me a bottle of water. I've never tasted water like that in my life. Sparkling water. And there was something about that water which was so pure and so nice and so refreshing. I drank the water. There was a fresh lease of energy in me. And I was able to just walk down to the barracks, and there everybody clapped for me. Now, one of the Sherpas there told me that we thought you were dead. And throughout this entire journey, while I was walking down, there was a butterfly with me. And before I could tell thank you to this person who had given me this bottle, the person just disappeared. Now, I'm talking about this because this is all about your mental and physical being. It's about how, even though you may not be physically up there, but mentally, if you're strong, you can complete any journey around you. And somewhere the mind plays tricks with you, and somewhere the mind also conditions you to believe in a certain manner. Now, supposedly, they say in a place like Mount Kailash, nobody really dies because it's such a beautiful place. And I also encountered this, and I went to this place called Mansarovar Lake. Now, Mansarovar Lake is the lake where supposedly all the gods take bath. Now, in Mansarovar Lake, a few kilometers before Mansarovar Lake, just after you finish this Mount Kailash journey, everybody's ragged, everybody's tired, everybody's dull because everybody wants to return back home. And when you reach Mansarovar Lake, it's so beautiful. There's so much of aquatic life there. I'm talking about life on top of a mountain at 16,000 feet. And just a few seconds before that, at Mansarovar Lake, uh, yeah, I think we're getting a lot of questions here. Yeah, I will talk about this. Yeah, so yeah, so just before as soon as you enter into Mansarovar Lake, it's a beautiful feeling because uh, it's right in the middle of nowhere, and you are thinking about what does it take to do a journey like this, and suddenly you have tears in your eyes. And this is the moment which you read about being in the zone, about what sportsmen go through, what about great artists go through. I was in that zone for 20 minutes when I just cried because it was so heartfelt. It was such a wonderful feeling to be in that zone for 20 minutes where all you feel is a certain love, and that certain kind of divine energy, a certain kind of strength which came from within. And that's something which I cannot even explain, but it was such a beautiful, such a refreshing moment. And somewhere I felt, I think it's all about staying strong mentally, staying strong, and staying stubborn, because somewhere when you're stubborn, uh, people think of it as a negative attribute. It can help you conquer so many boundaries which are visible as well as invisible. Now, in this current day and age which we are in right now, where there's so much of change and uncertainty around us as we talk, I think that's going to be the new normal. The question is, are we ready? And the only way by which you can be ready is by accepting that this is a new normal. When you have gone through situations like this, like what I went through in terms of the weight loss and in terms of this very interesting trip to Mount Kailash, it teaches you a lot in life, because I also believe, victories and failures are not really important. It's about the balance you can maintain between them, because nothing good lasts forever and nothing bad lasts forever. It's about the balance you can maintain there. And while we talk, we can also take some questions. Arjun has asked me, how do you ensure that you don't lose out on necessary nutrients and cause deficiency while losing weight? Uh, so yeah, so Arjun, yeah. So how do you ensure that you don't lose out on necessary nutrients and cause deficiency while losing weight? Arjun, I think it's very simple. It's about being persistent. It's about making sure that you are going on and on in terms of your habits, in terms of making sure that you don't have a single cheat day or a rest day. So being persistent, being passionate, and being positive is really important. Somebody's asked here, I lost weight, but then gained even more in lockdown. What do you recommend doing? I would recommend that, losing weight and staying fit, it's all a part of the journey. It's about being mentally strong. And the only way to deal with it, to deal with this entire phenomena of losing weight or gaining more in the lockdown is by maintaining a schedule, by making sure you're up and about, don't depend on your devices, and just enjoy the moment. I think more than considering it as a core, as a chore, as an activity, make sure you enjoy this moment, make sure you live in this moment, make sure you make these moments count, because these moments when you have actually lost weight or stayed fit during this lockdown will come back in time, and you think back with a smile about it. So I think it all boils down to maintaining a schedule. It all boils down to being positive. It all boils down to making sure you have the right support system around you in terms of inspiration, in terms of reading the right things, in terms of not watching too much of news. uh, a gentleman here has asked me, what are the areas you should concentrate on to stay healthy mentally in this lockdown? One thing is to be positive. When I'm saying be positive, make sure you surround yourself with positivity. There is a lot of news flying around us, a lot of information which is flying around us, which may or may not be important. And, because of the prevailing situation of COVID-19, everybody tends to get affected by it. And the only way to get through this is to just deal with it with a smile, like how I'm smiling right now. But on a more serious note, it's also important to ensure that you can make these moments count. Consider this adversity as an opportunity to do something, like learning a new skill. Like I'm learning to play the guitar right now as we talk. uh, Turning your passion into your profession if you want to. People say there are no jobs, but you can create opportunities on your own. I think it's very important to look at it in that manner. And like I always said, be positive about it. These moments won't last forever. And I believe if this has happened with us, it's happened for a reason, and we can only come out stronger out of this. So the only way to stay healthy mentally is, like I said, don't watch too much of news. Surround yourself with positivity, and also make sure everyone around you is as positive as you. And in my case, I have a dog. Her name is Sunshine. And like I said earlier, I think she has the most beautiful eyes in the world. She's got the best hair. She can give me a competition in terms of good hair day, bad hair day. But the interesting thing about when you have animals around you is you also understand that they look at life very positively. I don't think they have a memory in terms of hatred towards anybody. But in terms of my dog, I've specifically realized that she likes to live in the present. She likes to live in the moment, not the past or the future. For her, her main focus is to get her food, and she will get your attention any way she can. So that single-minded focus is very important for us to get through these trying times right now. So somebody's asked me, how are you using the time of lockdown to stay healthy mentally and physically? So I'm trying to inspire, encourage, and motivate anyone and everyone around me, because I genuinely believe I have this energy by which I can inspire everyone around me. And it only boils down to realizing that these times don't last forever. And it's by making sure that, like I said earlier, by staying strong, challenging the status quo, staying stubborn, and believing that you don't win the silver, you lose the gold. When I say you don't win the silver, you lose the gold, it's what champions think like. It's about focusing as much as you can on any given activity. So right now, because of COVID-19, we are in a situation where we do all our household work ourselves. So I think I should get a certificate course in doing jharu poncha. But on a more serious note, I think it all boils down to making these moments count and enjoying each and every moment. I think rather than thinking in despair, rather than thinking about what can happen to us, make these moments count, build your immunity. And the only way to build your immunity is not by exercise. Yes, that's an important part of it. Is by being positive, by smiling, by laughing, and by talking to people around you, by connecting with your stakeholders, by connecting with your family, by connecting with your loved ones. extremely important, and by listening to people like me. No, but on a more serious note, I think it all boils down to being positive. And I think being positive is so important. It's not an understatement. It's so critical in today's day and age, because there is so much of negativity around us. There's so much information around us. We don't know what to believe, what not to believe. This is a time when you need to come in together, be more inclusive rather than being exclusive. Yeah, that's a nice line actually. Be more inclusive rather than being more exclusive. Avoid as much negativity as you can. When you need to avoid negativity, it's very simple. Just shut yourself out from a lot of information. Just focus on yourself. Like I mentioned this point earlier, I think you need to love yourself a lot. When I'm saying loving yourself a lot, there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. It's about understanding yourself. And I think there should be a premium on not just your intelligence quotient. There should be a premium on your emotional quotient also. We talk a lot about your intelligence quotient. We talk a lot about technology. But what is very important is about understanding your EQ more than your IQ. We are all blessed with IQ when we wake up in the morning of India, when we come into this world. But it's very important to have that EQ, which is extremely important. So work on your EQ, understand what makes people tick. And I think the most important skill, which is very important during this day and age, and as has always been, is storytelling. So make these moments during this lockdowns count. Spend time with your family, play games with them, talk to your loved ones, talk to your stakeholders. If you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a startup, talk to your stakeholders, talk to people who are important, because nothing works without people. People are the lifeline of any business, of any family, of any organization. So make sure you keep the people happy, just like the smile on my face right now. So, and also in my case, uh, I do a plank every half an hour. So that's a little crazy, as in I don't think everybody will want to do a plank every half an hour, but that's a habit I have developed over a period of time, and where I've just done planks from the time I wake up till the time I go to sleep, running 15 kilometers every day, going up and down the stairs, avoiding everything white. Uh, you know, uh, Let me just close this first of all. Yeah, avoiding everything white. Uh, you know, Reading positive news and being around positive people. And I think I have the ability to energize, engage, and motivate everyone around me. That's something I learned from my dog. And I believe you live only once. You don't live a life like a tortoise where you're living 7 lives, or a life like a cat. So make these moments count. And as I'm an entertainer, I always believe there is always a good news around the corner. You just got to wait for that corner to happen. And because of COVID-19, instead of focusing on the negative news, focus on the positive news. Focus on the fact that you could spend so much of time with your loved ones. You could spend so much of time doing what you love to do. You could spend so much of time in building your passion. You could spend so much of time in engaging and inspiring and working with your stakeholders. These are moments where you got to think out of the box. These are moments where you got to be more inclusive than exclusive. When I'm saying inclusive, you got to know yourself inside out. These are also moments when you're going to be nervous, when you're going to be anxious, when you're going to be scared, when you're going to do a lot of things to yourself because you cannot handle it. The only way to handle this is to talk to people who you trust. And when I'm talking about trust, there's a very important skill set here. When I was trying to lose weight, when I was trying to stay fit, it's about trusting the people around you. And if you have tried skydiving, I tried skydiving where I did a tandem jump with a German gentleman. That's when trust comes really important, because you're trying to save your life. And you got to trust that person who you have just met half an hour back. And after you sign a document which says that if anything happens to you, this person is not responsible. That's when trust is really important. But like I said earlier, trust and trusting your environment, trusting the nature around you, being at one with nature, being at one with your family, being at one with your loved ones is extremely important in terms of your mental conditioning. Also, make sure you read the right kind of books, you have the right kind of information around you. Uh, just spend time with yourself, just spend time with your loved ones. I don't think it's too much to ask. And, this is the time when we need to make it count, because we might look back at this COVID-19 time with a lot of love and with the fact that, we conquered it. And I genuinely believe we as Indians have this innate ability to conquer anything and everything around us through pure love, persistence, and passion. I think, in my line of work, I've traveled around the world. I've traveled to places as diverse as New York, Australia, London, uh, uh, Singapore, New Zealand, which is so beautiful. And there's nothing as mad as India. If you're in India, you need to get used to that madness. And that's what makes India so special. And that's what makes us special in terms of your mental and your physical conditioning, and about how you can stay strong and you can stay stubborn also along with it. So being stubborn, like I said, is not a negative attribute. It's a positive attribute. It's about being stubborn about this is the way I do things. This is the way I will make things happen, and believing in a gut feeling. We got to start believing in ourselves. It's very important. When I'm saying believing, don't believe in what others say. Believe in what you believe is really important. In terms of what you want to do with your life, what are your passion areas, what you want to learn, what you want to do. Because that belief, when it's very strong, it can manifest into something which is very extraordinary, which happened in my case because I was working in the corporate sector and now I'm doing what I like and love in terms of as an entertainer, actor, motivational speaker, radio jockey, comedian. Like I said earlier, my dog thinks I'm funny and I believe her. And that belief is very important. And we are living in a day and age, we're living in a world where everything is hitting us with a lot of information, a lot of technological advancements, a lot of deaths happening around us. You find a lot of news, you find so many things happening around you. You don't know when this situation is really going to end, and the only way for the situation to end is by understanding or by accepting that this is the new normal, this is the way life is going to be. So you got to adjust to it, uh, you got to change according to how the way the nature changes, and just understand that you are a tiny speck in this universe. It's very important to understand that the nature is really strong, and nature can do whatever it wants with us, but we got to be strong to withstand everything and anything around us. And that can only come by understanding life in its entirety. And that's by, by staying fit, staying active, spending time with your loved ones. And I'm saying staying fit is very simple. You could do simple things like running up and down the stairs. I, for example, do a plank every half an hour. You can do simple exercises at home, your handheld exercises, your various exercises which you have, which is all available on YouTube and on the internet. But the point of the matter is nothing can beat staying positive internally. And I'm saying staying positive internally is about looking back at this time and saying that, you know what, we can do this. I can beat this. And that's what I mean by being stubborn. We've got one more question, I think. Also, as we are talking about staying active and staying active mentally and physically, and during this turbulent times, as we say, it's also important to have a lot of gratitude. When I'm saying gratitude, uh, about sending a silent prayer up there, I always believe you need to thank the Almighty, like I say, for all that has happened with you, because and also have a sense of gratitude, because we are extremely lucky, we are extremely fortunate. There are less fortunate people around us who, as we talk, are having a tough time. So I think in more ways than one, that gratitude is very important, because gratitude is the number one attribute which is missing in this world as we talk. This world is missing something like an emotional quotient. There's so much of intelligence around us, but people don't have time for each other. So this is a time for us to get inclusive, talk to your loved ones, connect with your loved ones, spend time with them, make these moments count, and be happy about it. Now, before I finish, I want to share this story with all of you. I've spoken about, obviously about my fat to fit story, where I've lost, 40 kilos in a year, from 46 inches to 32 inches. I spoke about my Mount Kailash experience. I also want to talk to you about a fact which is very close to my heart. And it's related to the last point that I'm speaking about. You need to be honest, you need to be open, you need to be expressive, you need to be vulnerable. Problem is, we as human beings don't talk about your failures enough. We talk about our victories a lot, but I feel our failures are the stepping stones for our victory. That's what I genuinely believe in. I had a chance to go to this beautiful place called Wimbledon in London. And right there it said, when you treat triumph and disaster in the same manner, that's when you achieve a sense of balance. And this was mentioned in the center court. So think of it like this. A Nadal and a Roger Federer go out to play on center court. And before they get to center court, they read this very interesting caption. And then they start meditating and they start visualizing. I think it's such a powerful statement. Now, before we end, I wanted to share this information with you, this story with you, which talks about balance, which talks about both mental and a physical strength. Now, a couple of years back, we had there was a baby girl who had come into our lives, and her name was Akira. And we named her Akira because Akira means graceful in strength in Japanese. And I'm also a big fan of Akira Kurosawa, the famous Japanese director. And Akira was beautiful. She had the most angelic eyes, and I think she had a wonderful smile too. and she was a preterm baby. She was with us for 100 days, and then she passed away. uh, Now the moment when she passed away, uh, so she was put in a cardboard box, and she passed away because she was a preterm child. And we were, both me and my wife, we used to go to the hospital day in and day out. We used to have regular trips. We used to have numerous trips to the hospitals every day just to check how she's doing. And I wouldn't. I would want those days to come back again. As in those days when she came into our life for 100 days were the best days of my life, according to me. Because you learn so much about love, you learn so much about patience, you learn so much about persistence, and you learned what it takes for a life to come, for a small child to come into to become something really unique, something really special. And she was a preterm child. She was with us for 108 days, and those days were really special. Now the day she passed away, she was put in a cardboard box. And the reason why I'm talking about the story is because it's very important to understand that's how life really is. And for everyone, actually. Now, she was put in a cardboard box, and there was a family who was sitting right next to me who was celebrating the arrival of their child. And so they were extremely happy. Here, this was one family, which is my family, just crying, and there was another family which was celebrating the arrival of the child. That's how life really is. And that's the only day I really cried, because the next day I had a show with the legendary Jeffrey Archer. I was hosting his book launch in Bangalore, and so we did this. We covered the book launch, and after the launch got over, my eyes were red because I had not slept the previous night, and I was crying the previous night and day. And he comes to me and says, "Shekhar, I've been writing stories for the last 70 years. Uh, why your eyes red?" I said, "No, I'm perfectly fine." He said, "No, there is something wrong. I know you don't drink and you don't smoke, so what's the problem?" I said, "I lost my baby girl last evening." He said, "You lost a baby girl last evening and you're out here entertaining today." I said, uh, yeah, "That's what I think she wanted." So somewhere, I felt this baby girl had come into our life for 100 days for a specific reason. And we were the best parents we could ever be, without bothering about the consequences. And that's what it's all about. It's about living in that moment, without worrying about the past or the future. And I genuinely believe, as I'm talking to you right now, as I'm sharing the story with you right now about being strong and being stubborn, about being positive mentally and physically, uh, I'm being as open and as honest with you as much as I can. I'm talking to you about something which is very personal for me, but which is something which I wanted to share. And it all boils down to having a balance in life. It all boils down to believing that my daughter, Akira, is watching me with a lot of love, with a lot of pride, with a lot of warmth. And she would be the happiest if I'm out there entertaining, engaging, motivating, and inspiring anyone and everyone around me. Now, we all have different ways of dealing with pain. We express our pain in our own way. It could be either by talking about it, either by expressing it. But like I said earlier, I think the most common point, I think uh, it all boils down to being open, being honest, being vulnerable, being expressive, and also understanding yourself well. I feel happy. I feel I just feel that she's around me as we talk, and it's been wonderful talking to each one of you, sharing these very interesting stories of mine. In terms of my fat to fit story, where I've lost 40 kilos in a year, the Mount Kailash story, which was like a near death moment, and this story of my child Akira, who is in a good place right now, I believe, and who came into our life for a specific reason, and also taught me a very important lesson while she passed away. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking to each one of you. I think I can take questions from each one of you if you need to have any more questions. If you can hear me clearly, please go ahead and ask me questions. I will answer each and every question for you.
I'm Mr. Shekhar. Thank you for this session. It was really, truly inspiring,
Thank you so much.
especially story of Akira. Uh, Thank you. I hope there are few questions in the Q&A box. I think we have covered almost everything. So thank you very much, Shekhar. Hope to see you soon on the speaking platform again.
Thank you so much, Manik. I hope it was informative. I hope it was educative, and I hope it was inspirational. That's my entire perspective. Thank you.
Sure, true. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish. And before we sign off, a big thanks to Speak In for this, especially by Deepshika, Manik, and Nijansh for giving this platform for speakers and for allowing me to share my story. I think goes without saying that a big shout out to them and all the credit to them. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.